The lights blaze across the roaring arena as anticipation hangs thick in the air like electricity waiting to strike. Fans from both nations, Mexico and Venezuela, fill the seats with flags, drums, and voices, building a storm of passion as two warriors prepare to enter the ring. Leo El Terremoto Santa Cruz, the young, undefeated American-born Mexican warrior, makes his walk to the ring with calm confidence, carrying the pride of his family, the dreams of his people, and the hunger to conquer a new weight division. Opposite him, the Venezuelan veteran, Alexander El Explosivo Muñoz, marches in with an entirely different aura, hardened by decades of ring wars, four-time world champion, fearless and battle-tested. His nickname, The Explosive, isn't just a title, it's a warning. This wasn't just a test. This was a collision of eras, and when the bell would ring, youth and speed would clash against power and experience. Center ring. Referee Vic Drakulich gave the final instructions. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands. Touch gloves. And in that instant, the crowd rose onto their feet, knowing what was coming was not going to be a chess match. It was going to be war. From the first second of round one, the tone was set. There was no feeling out, no hesitation, no time wasted. Santa Cruz, known for his incredible volume punching, immediately unleashed his combinations. Sharp jabs, long hooks, digging uppercuts that painted his intentions clearly. He wasn't here to box cautiously. He was here to dominate. Muñoz welcomed the heat, stepping directly into the fire, throwing heavy right hands and uppercuts, looking to test Santa Cruz's chin. The ring quickly became too small for the storm they were throwing at each other. Muñoz tried to bully Santa Cruz with his size, leaning his shoulder, pushing forward, attempting to drag him into deep waters. But Leo didn't retreat. He stood his ground like a young general, firing back with rapid shots to the head and brutal hooks to the ribs. Already we could see Leo's strategy: attack the body, slow the older warrior, and break him down from the inside. Muñoz fired wide hooks with venom, but Santa Cruz's speed and accuracy were unmatched. It was youth versus experience, and youth was beginning to take control. Round two was a display of heart and chaos. They fought like two men trying to prove a point. And neither was willing to back away. Muñoz, aiming to impose his will, charged forward behind his guard, throwing power punches like grenades. One right hand caught Santa Cruz flush, and the crowd erupted as if the tide were changing. Muñoz saw the reaction, smelled momentum, and began pressing harder. But Leo Santa Cruz showed his poise. Instead of retreating, he bit down on his mouthpiece and fired back, trapping Muñoz in the center with blistering combinations, ripping hooks into the body, then snapping his head back with uppercuts. The crowd could see it. Those body shots weren't just punches. They were investments. Santa Cruz was digging deep, planting seeds that would bloom later in the fight. Both men landed clean. Both felt the sting of war. Both had their cheeks reddened with contact. But one thing was becoming clear. Santa Cruz wasn't just faster. He was relentless. There were no breaks, no pauses, no mercy in his rhythm. He was fighting as if every second mattered. By round three, the effects of Santa Cruz's approach became painfully visible. Muñoz, still proud and still fierce, fought tooth and nail, but his guard was beginning to slip. His mouth was slightly open, his breathing heavier, and his counters slower. Santa Cruz kept increasing his pace, like a man who didn't know how to slow down. He landed jabs from the outside, uppercuts in close, and savage hooks to both sides of Muñoz's ribcage. Each thudding body shot sent echoes through the crowd. Muñoz retaliated with heart, firing wild hooks and desperate uppercuts, but his accuracy began to fade. Then, the defining moment, Santa Cruz landed a clean left hook to the liver, followed by a right hand upstairs. Muñoz stumbled backward toward the ropes, and Santa Cruz pounced like a predator sensing blood in the water. He unleashed a flurry of brutal shots, left, right, uppercut, until Muñoz crumbled, falling to the canvas. The arena exploded. The referee began counting, 5, 6, 7. Muñoz struggled up at 8, refusing to surrender. His eyes said it all. It wasn't over. Not yet. Round 4 opened with a clash of wills. Santa Cruz smelled weakness, but Muñoz's pride wasn't ready to let go. Muñoz tried to answer back, digging deep, firing one last heroic offensive. Right hands over the top, wild hooks, short blows in close range. But Santa Cruz's volume, his accuracy, his youth was too much. Every time Muñoz threw, Santa Cruz threw 5. Every time Muñoz landed 1, Santa Cruz answered with a combination to the head and body. The Venezuelan warrior began to fade. His reaction slowed. His feet were heavier. His punches lost snap. Santa Cruz, however, was operating like a well-oiled machine. Jab, hook, uppercut, step back, reset, repeat. Muñoz's corner watched with growing concern, hoping their fighter's spirit wouldn't betray his body. Then, in the final seconds of the round, Santa Cruz delivered another brutal barrage, snapping Muñoz's head back and sending sweat splashing into the air. The referee watched closely, but the bell saved Muñoz from further punishment, at least for a moment. The referee stopped the contest. TKO, round 5. Leo Santa Cruz, still undefeated, had just made one of the most dominant statements of his career. He had stepped into a new weight class, faced a 4-time world champion known for his explosiveness, and broke him down with precision, power, and unparalleled volume punching. It wasn't just a win. It was a declaration. Leo Santa Cruz was not just a rising star. He was a force. The crowd, once divided, now united in appreciation, clapped for both warriors, for Santa Cruz's brilliance and Muñoz's heart. Even in defeat, Muñoz had proven something. He was still a warrior, still explosive, still proud. As Santa Cruz celebrated, his father entered the ring, embracing him like the proud mentor he had always been. Tears of emotion, relief, and triumph filled his corner. Cameras flashed, reporters rushed, fans roared chanting, "Leo, Leo, Leo," as the new USBA junior featherweight champion raised his gloves. It was more than a moment. It was legacy in motion. Alexander Muñoz, though battered, stood tall, hugged Santa Cruz, and whispered in his ear with respect. Because true warriors always recognize true greatness. This night wasn't just a fight. It was a passing of the torch. An explosive Venezuelan veteran gave everything he had. But the earthquake from California proved too powerful. The arena slowly dimmed, but the echoes of the crowd's chants, the roar of punches, and the spirit of warriors lingered like a memory carved into boxing history. Leo El Terremoto. Santa Cruz had arrived, and the division would never be the same again.